Okay, good morning. Good morning, and this is Monday, and right now I'm before going back to my job. Before going to my job, and it's really early in the morning. That's why my sound is not really good right now, but I will try to continue on this game development journey. It's really a daunting task for me to do it, but I just wanted to finish this game as early as possible because it is already took more than enough. Because I planned this game will end nearly in 20 or maybe 30 days, but right now I'm in the 46th day of my game development journey, and even if this game is really seems really easy, and even if it looks really easy to go, but some problems came arises on the way, and I just wanted to finish this game, and release it on the store. That's why let's go and let's continue about finishing this thing. Actually, yesterday I left where I left was the chapter 4 starting section. In the chapter 4 starting section, I had a problem with starting the race, starting the game, and I needed to change some things, some variables before the game. And I want my game to either going start my game to start either by pressing the next button or by pressing any inputs inside the game. So let's go and check check with it. And this is the method I added yesterday, the start race method yesterday. This is chapter 4 GUI, my main script for the chapter 4 section. So I want my game to call this start race method if I press next button, or if I press any input buttons, the arrow keys for this section. So when I go to when I go through my methods in my chapter 4 GUI, I had this load tutorial welcome methods, and this load tutorial welcome is providing me this is the input enable section in here, and this provides me a good starting point. However, this is not working in here because when this load tutorial welcome is called, it just goes over the input methods and load the text I want in here, and after loading the text, it just the behavior tree just changes its state to player active. So maybe as a first thing, I can just keep this keep this in the let's go and look for my canvas. Okay, why can't I find it? This should be around here. Yes, this is my GUI and this is my behavior tree. when the sections are finished for the chapter welcome section, the behavior trees state just changes from chapter welcome to tutorial. And when the tutorial section is called, after tutorial section is called, it's just bypassing into the is player active state. Let's try it. And I just wanted to see the game in that chapter. Okay, this is the section I'm looking for. This is my method and this is my callback function. This callback function is assigned when I ask for the JSON file, when I ask Unity to get the text values from the JSON file, and after Unity gets the text file from the C# gets text file values from the text file, the lambda method just is responsible for assigning the do next. As you can see, it's do next button assignment. It just goes and into the chapter loader, and it just calls the chapter movement on first input pressed. This is iChapter loader, and I guess this interface is, yes, this interface is also inside iChapter loader, or is inside my chapter for GUI, which is basically the character movement on first input pressed is called character movements on first input is pressed is called when I press the next button. It just sets the tutorial welcome button, and it will be an easy solution. Just adding this method in here, the start trace method in here, and after I press the next button in here, as you can see in here, it should just start this race, and it should just enables my character to run through the course. Chapter 4 GUI should be here. Sorry, first of all I just needed to go to my chapter 4 and press next. I still cannot apply any inputs in here. And when I press next, yes, my character starts moving. Ooh, okay, and go. Ooh, that's good. And another one. So the other thing I wanted to I wanted to gather input for here. This is the first thing. The next button is responsible for starting the race right now. Pay attention to the heat meter and let's begin the race. How about changing the name in here, changing the name of the text in here, not like next, but as a start race button, or maybe just a start text. Let's try it like here, start text. Okay, this should do the trick. What I add in here is goes to my next button and find the TMP text script, TMP text class inside my under my next button, and set the name of the text as the start text from the JSON file, which is just a start, as you can see in here. So this means that when I press new game and goes to my save file, next, as you can see, this is just next, written next. And so pay attention to the heat meter. Let's begin the race. So right now I do not need any inputs from the player just to start the race, but I just renamed the button to start, and which is better for telling the player that just if you just press in here and the game starts, and there is no indication that if I pressed any of the arrow buttons it just starts. So I just desktop the game in here and make it a quick fix like this. So when I press start, my character starts working, my character starts moving. However, the issue in here is that the opponent does not start. So I also needed to fix that issue. The race has started. Boolean is not triggered, as you can see in my opponent. There should be a reason for it, and let's investigate this one. Okay, something seems weird in here. That's why as you can see, I added a button just to check if this, if calling this method that is making any difference. why does what does it and why is it in disabled? Oh, I see. I forgot that this cube, I'm not really sure about what this is, but this cube is the operand parent cube. In here is disabled on the beginning, and this is the cause of why this operand's script does not get the sets enable races started issue. But it's also weird that I have two operand scripts. I do not remember why I do this. Like, is it in here? I also have another operand script in here. And I'm not really sure what this cube or this operand parent is responsible. Both of these game objects is responsible for doing any of these. So just remove that and keep only my card render and retry it. But the chapter 4 should be disabled also in the beginning. Yeah, right now the opponent just okay, wait for me, where are you going, where are you? Okay, this is good, and I can just remove it and remove this debug file. So this is good, so far so good. I managed to start the race without any problem right now. The next thing I wanted to do is to track the character behind I want my camera to track the character behind my player, behind my main character, not with this weird angle. Not with this weird angle. Just needs to track my character behind the camera. Just needs to track the character behind camera. Let's go and check my main camera. It also has a state machine over it. And let's see. It says that my main camera should be behind the player, and the camera state is on chapter 4. But this parent constraint is not enabled in here. which is the issue I needed to resolve. Let's go over and check my save file to see that if my save file actually reloads the parent constraints. This is my do load from file, and this section is responsible for both of the constraints, position constraint list in here. Load text on nutrition slider. Okay, this is not enabled in here. I have my position constraint, position offsets as far as I can see, but I do not see anything called parent constraint in there. So one of the quick fix will be just adding this will be the easiest, I guess. I just look for my main camera and look for the parent constraint under my camera, parent constraint component under my camera, and just enable this guy. So where can I put it? Here. Start race. Where is my start race method? I can remove this one. My start race method can also have camera, main, get components, and what is my get component? Parent constraints. Yes. Enabled, and let's set this to true, and let's see that if this is working. Okay, this is working, and as you can see, I can have a 10-minute break right now just to clear my mind. Okay, my computer has a surprise for me for today's work, actually, because I started to record my workflow working in the very early morning, and for the last half an hour I recorded and I made some adjustments inside my game about the chapter 4 problems. However, when I'm at rest, I had some time of around 10 minutes, and when I came back to my computer, it just gives me an Good old blue screen. The Windows 11 is still having a good old blue screen black, and which results into lose of all of my recording data till now for today. So I don't have anything to do from that one, and I will just continue from now on. And the things I did early in the morning before this recording session was that I managed to solve the restart debugging, and solve the camera tracking problem early in the morning. And right now I will continue with some other implementations, and let's go and let's see where I left off. Go to my start a new game, go to my save manager, let's go to chapter 4, and when I press next, I added a start button here, and I still don't, my character does not still start the race, but when I press the start in here, both the opponents and my character should start moving, but something is wrong in here. In the last session I found out that I had a cube and then opponent parent game objects in here, which causes this weird bug of not starting the opponent the race. So I just delete these two and retry again. Now the camera follows my character and the opponent is running away from me. Yes, that's good. That's nice. That's nice, and I can also okay, the opponent is running also. So let's continue from here. Actually, for this chapter I forgot, but I needed a heat meter for the characters to go and collect around the racetrack as nutrients for the cells. Actually, it's the cell is the card of this of my main character in here. So so let's go over the track and add some nutrients. After the player eats those nutrients, the cell under the player eats those nutrients. The nutrients are collectibles, as in this case. I do not need any dots win for my nutrient. Let's go over the racetrack and see where my nutrients are. This is one, and make another nutrients in here and another one here another one here, another one here. Okay, another one here, another one here, another one here, another one here, and this is the, let's make it the last one over here. So these are my nutrients, and when the player or the opponent, no, actually only the player, if only the player collects these nutrients, it gives the player a speed boost, but also a player needs to check the slider over here, which should be a heat meter. Yes, this is the slider. Let's call it heat meter. Just heat meter, because my other chapters does not consist of any heat meters. And this is timer slider. Okay, where is the timer slider? I just want to open this guy. Yes, here you are. How about adding a new component called heat meter? And just copy the methods directly from there to here. And this library also. No. Heat meter should start with the value of 0 in the beginning, and if the value is not 0, then it can drop. This value dropping is false, return. If slider value equals 0, just return. I do not want any value to drop. So let's go to my chapter for GUI. Okay, heat meter, my player just needs to collect the nutrients along the way, and it should have any trigger or maybe a collision along the track to see that if there is a collision happens, or if any trigger is happening, any physics collision happening between the character and the nutrients, these character movements should be responsible for this thing. For this physics interaction. However, I do not see any physics interactions inside my chapter 4 character movements script. Let's go to the scene view and let's find my character. Yes, my character is here. I have a capsule collider here also, but in the chapter 4, let's just go into chapter 4 and see the state of the game objects in there. Okay, something is wrong. What are these two guys? Who are you? And why are you none? I just wanted to ignore. Game object parent list. From list, and I guess these two are creating a problem in here. How about just okay, you are this one, you are this one. Save game object active list. This problem, this is also has any none. These two guys. Okay, just the easy fix. Save manager, resolve. Just generate. This is a really dirty fix, but let's go over to my save manager and find these two guys, this guy and this guy over here, and For here, let's just place these two guys, these two game objects. Yes, I managed to get into the chapter 4 section. These two game objects, which seems null in my load list, maybe a result of the thing that I remove all two of the game objects inside my script, inside my scene. However, I cannot just remove that slots inside of these lists, because it just goes in a looping and finds that if this finds and enables the game objects is in order. That's why I just needed to assign two new game objects just for that. And this is not the best solution, I guess, but this is the simplest and this is the fastest solution. I had in here, I had in my hands. So from now on, let's just focus on my previous problem in here in the with collecting the nutrients. So look to my main character. And my main character is a child of this carry kart race. And this thing is responsible okay, I forgot some comments in here. This is my carry kart race. Just remove these comments and get blind follower. Carry kart race. This can be responsible for the collisions, I guess, and let's just add a on collision answer if let's see my nutrients. These do not have any best trigger over them. So I remember that I had implemented a collision for the for my main character, or maybe an opponent. I'm not remember. Maybe I do not remember it correctly, but this should have, yes, apply penalty with duration. This was in the opponent. If other compare attack is player card. Okay. I remember this one. Let's implement it under my carry card trace. On collision enter. If collision no, I don't want this one. If collision tag compare tag is nutrients. And let's just give me a debug look. Nutrients on collision enter cold. Let's just give me this debug log in my console, and then I understand this collision is working. Let's go to the save manager, refresh file list, goes to chapter 4, and here we are. But I do not see my nutrients. Where are they? Where are my nutrients? Chapter 4. Because my collectibles are disabled. However, I want them to be enabled. So I just needed to generate another save file. Save manager, refresh file list, go to chapter 4. Yes, this is my current save file with the collectibles disabled. Let's just enable collectibles, which are my nutrients currently. What are these two guys? This game object. Let's generate this save file. Let's try reloading the file. Yes, right now I have my nutrients over my track. So if the collision is working, no, it's not working. Why doesn't it? Carry car trace. Carry car trace. This is a box collider. My nutrient has a box collider, but none of them has any rigid body, which may be the source of my problem. So let's just add a rigid body on the carry car trace. Carry car trace. Add a rigid body. Freeze rotation. I do not want any physics happening in there, that's why I will just freeze rotation, and I just chose to use gravity section in here, and let's retry. Okay, these are working, but this just kills the rigid body, just kills it. Okay. What will be the simplest solution? What will be the simplest solution? Just to have any trigger. A trigger is good. Trigger is better. Let's continue with carry cards race as trigger. Is trigger. But trigger will not work because this is calling on collision, enter on collision, on trigger, enter. Let's try like it. If other compare tag equals nutrient, let's just call this debug log for me. Okay, yes, this is working. This seems working. It collects my nutrients. However, the thing I have in my mind is that yes, the penalty applied is also working. If I crash my cell with the opponent, it just stops stops the cell of the player. So that's all for today. Today the first part is missing thanks to Windows 11 with the blue screen, but at least I managed to record the second part of my of the development of my little game in here, and today I managed to do some things, some issues, and resolve some issues which bothers me for a long time. And in the right now I'm at the phase, okay, just make a comment in here what to do next, what I want to do next. And here let's make a to-do player after collecting nutrients. The slider, the heat meter, heat meter should be updated if heat meter equals to if heat meter slider value equals to 1, player penalty should be applied if nutrients are grabbed. Slider value of the heat meter should be updated, and the speed of the player should be boosted also. In addition to this, after the player, after the nutrient issues are resolved, positive level, and after 3 labs should be implemented for both the opponent and the player. In addition to this, negative level ends should be implemented also if the opponent finishes before the player. For the last thing, little texts in between, inside the chapter should be implemented when player grabs any of the nutrients. And after I finish these things and after I finish this to-do list, I guess there will not be too much left in order to finish this game. Maybe after finishing these parts, I just needed to go back to my other chapters in the chapter 1, chapter 2 and chapter 3, and needed to polish some of the sections in there and try to see that if I had more bugs or issues in there and resolve these sections, and that's all, I guess. And after that thing, I will just get a new build and try to upload it to the store. So that's all for today, and thanks for listening, and sorry for the first parts of this daily vlog is missing thanks to Windows 11, I guess. So see you tomorrow morning. Have a nice day.